Hello, welcome to Me For You, my experience serving your joy. 3 words are blocking your success. I'll jump straight into it. Word number 1, try. Have a look. Someone did this with me nearly 10 years ago, and it really surprised me, and it was amazing and changed the way that I speak. Okay, here's a pen. This person had put the pen on the floor, and he said, okay, do what I say. Number 1, pick up the pen. Picked up the pen, okay. Put it back on the floor. Okay, I'm doing it like this for you, okay. Now try and pick up the pen. So I went, I'm trying, right? He looked at me, he said, you've not picked it up, right? So your brain, this is to do with neuroscience and NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. I'll be putting links under this video to guide you and for you to continue your exploration. It's to do with programming your unconscious mind, and when you give it the order to try, it'll try, it won't do it. This was very powerful, and I promise you, changing your vocabulary really changes your life. So what most people do when I do this test with them, this little game, that's not a game really, in the end, that really can transform your life. What they do for the second time, they go like this. I said, well, no, you've taken it. You've done the same as the first time. You've not tried. And there they see the nuance. There they realize that every time they're saying try, then actually not intending to do it. At least they are intending, but they're giving the wrong signal to the brain. They're giving the wrong order to the brain. The way the brain works is, in fact, only 4% of what we do and the way we live is due to our conscious brain. Our conscious brain is the part of the brain that's responsible for making decisions, for giving orders. It's responsible for asking the right questions and speaking the right language. And this we have control over. We need to learn to speak to our unconscious brain. And it's just a technique, and it's knowing how the unconscious brain works. It's not difficult. It's just becoming conscious that everything you say is having an effect on your life, on your actions, and so on the results of the actions, therefore on your experience and on your life. 96% of what we do is due to the unconscious brain. In a very interesting book that I read about 10 years ago, the author described, it's called The Answer, the book, very interesting. The author described the brain as a ship with the frontal lobe cortex, or the conscious brain, being the captain of the ship, giving the orders, and the unconscious brain being all the staff, the operational people on the boat. That's for me, that's really helped me. Word number 2 is difficult. As soon as you say it's difficult or it's going to be difficult, you're priming your unconscious brain to make it difficult. Everything you say creates your life. whatever, and this was very apparent to me, I mean, a revelation through a book that's very well known that was written in the 1930s by Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. And it's not just about money, okay? It's about everything. With a very beautiful, real story of his story that I invite you to go and discover, that proves this point, in fact. So everything that you imagine you've created, you actually create in the absolute. And then it's a question of time for it to incarnate into your life. And I know this sounds esoterical and sort of la-la land language, except that it's neuroscience. And again, I invite you to go and do your own research and contradict me. I always invite you to contradict me and find your own reality, as I did find my own reality. So when you say it's difficult, you're creating a belief, and our brain is made in such a way that we absolutely need to match our belief to our experience. So we're going to actually look for always the most difficult way. How can we counter that? Well, by saying, I always find a way out, which we always do when you think about it, okay? So I always find a way out. I always find a solution. I know exactly what to do. When I'm stuck, I take a couple of minutes, seconds, and I say, I know exactly what to do. And then, bingo, the solution's there. Word number 3. Fight. Often you hear expressions, it's a real fight, I'm going to fight this, I'm going to fight this bad habit. Mother Teresa is known to have said, don't invite me to any rally against war. If you hold a rally, a demonstration for peace, I will come. She'd understood, you see. Why? Because one of the laws of the universe is whatever you fight, you strengthen. Whatever you resist persists. And it's also a law of the universe, okay, that here she goes again with her universe. Except that it's also a law of the body, so a biological and mechanical law of our body. How is our skeleton and how are our bones strengthened? It's through the shock of walking, movement, and through the shock of running. Okay, I say shock, it might sound a little violent. We're not saying to overdo things. We're saying, and again, you can look that up, one of the ways to prevent and to avoid osteoporosis is to run. So when you're fighting a situation, you're actually strengthening it. Plus, you're focusing on the brick wall, if I may say. Instead, may I suggest that you envision that you see what you want. What do you want? And focus on that. Or ask yourself, how can I take another route? See? Again, you're talking the right language to your unconscious brain. The unconscious brain who actually does the action. So there you have it. 3 words to take and throw out of the window. You don't need them anymore. may I invite you to really prepare and decide what you're going to say every time you think, oh my God, it's difficult. There's nothing wrong with feeling that discomfort. But what word or what are you going to say to yourself? What question or what sentence, what phrase? You need to decide beforehand so that the next time it happens, because it's going to happen, right? You decide what you're going to say in order to turn things around. Thank you for watching. I hope this is helping you. Do click the like button, the subscribe button, so that I can continue talking to you and helping you, hopefully. Have a beautiful week, beautiful day, and talk to you very soon. Bye-bye.